This show was so much better when I was just filming. God.
When you were just
now
filming?
I'm here to...
Now you take some abuse and you learn some shit. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
You either have to pay for your education in money
or you have
or
to be
humility.
embarrassed. Yeah.
You pay for it in money or humility.
I
Which
took
do you
the,
choose?
I took the cheap route. All right.
I could very easily stand here and not make fun of you and charge you lots of money.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wreck Bike Rebuild Season 3. In the last episode, you watched me, Brian, and Luke start taking the bobber apart. In this episode, you will continue to watch us take the bobber apart. Mostly me, unfortunately.
It's not bobber yet. It's still a motorcycle right now. Take a cruiser apart.
You watched us take the cruiser apart, excuse me. Helping me today is Brian, the master mechanic. And Luke. I won't call you the parts nerd.
Thanks.
So if you're not familiar with Wreck Bike Rebuild, just kidding, of course you are. If you want to support the build and potentially get given the motorcycle because we're nice people like that, check out the Patreon link down below. That's how we support the episode, and now we're gonna go. Okay, we're gonna start filming. Luke, catch the camera. Did you think I was gonna throw it?
No.
Oh, damn. So we ended it because we reached our time limit last time.
Yep.
We're still, if you guys aren't familiar, we're breaking the bike down as much as we can so that we can get a very good understanding of what the hell's wrong with it, the parts we need for it, and all that kind of stuff.
What we need to cut off, what we need to weld on.
I would say something about the cutoff
we need
thing after the thing last time.
Well, we already started cutting stuff off, so the rest of the stuff that we need to cut off and make a plan of action, but we still have to take off all the rest of the bits and pieces and covers of things that we're not sure if we're going to keep or reuse, or replace, or you know what I mean. So some of the stuff that we're referring to, we have the intake for the throttle body and the air filter.
Yep.
There are some little chrome pieces that we're most likely not going to use. Chrome stuff here, 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 here. You know, some little covers to cover up some of the ugly stuff that's behind all this. Coolant reservoir bottle. There's a big frame brace in here that's not the prettiest piece in the world, so we'll wind up removing the battery bax, exposing the secondary fuel tank, taking the rest of the cover, side stand, regulator rectifier cover, all the chrome stuff off of this side. We're going to remove the fork leg covers, which are these silver pieces right here. They're not really going to fit in with the style of machine that we're aiming for, so we're going to pull these off and see how it looks with just the raw legs in there instead of the covers on top. We'll pull the radiator and we'll just get it apart as far as we can. So we at this point we're still just collecting information, trying to figure out exactly what it is, which direction we're going to go, how much work we're going to make for ourselves.
Was I the only one that, as Brian was talking, my eyes were just like, oh yeah.
Well, you should be making those faces, Chase, because you're going to be doing most of the work.
I know. All right, in that case, I have to now hand the camera off to Luke because I have to do it. Luke, if you would do the honors. Oh God, shit! I literally thought you were gonna drop it. Oh God. Okay, let's not.
Did you just make a diamond?
Oh, something that we wanted to bring up.
Don't drop it, it's open. Literally, all the ratchets will fall out the bottom.
Noted. Somebody sent all of these ratchets, and you're awesome because...
The name's right there.
Oh, Steven, thank you for sending these ratchets because Brian was complaining about one of my shitty ones in there. So,
I'm guessing that that's why Steven has sent us some new ratchets, because...
Yeah, I remember a couple episodes where you were like...
This thing sucks!
Yeah, it started being reverse threaded. That's another thing, Mr. Camera. So now...
Word, thanks for coming.
Okay. These cameras, look at this. These things are live streaming the build. Look at it. We can switch cameras and it's so cool. Look at it, Brian. Say hey to everybody. That's really awesome. That's what we do for our Patreon people. You can watch this stuff live. Okay, we're gonna build stuff. I mean, take shit apart. I need gloves, bro. Brian, you want a pair of orange gloves?
I'm good. I'm planning on keeping my hands clean.
So, Brian, what are we gonna take off first?
Your glove, I guess? I don't know what
I'm
you're...
trying to get it on. Fingers a little sweaty.
So let's start removing the chrome.
All right, give me that grinder.
No.
Nothing comes
That's
out of
for-
here. Right?
No. That cover is a cover.
Oh, did you know this was punctured?
Yes. That's why one of the reasons why we're taking that chrome cover off is to see if the cover behind it is damaged.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Brian.
Mm-hmm. You'll see in just a second why that cover is there. Because that cover is ugly as hell.
Is that literally the only point of this?
Yeah, to cover all the... Well, they put these on here
We're not
so they
reusing
can
this,
put
right?
a cover now because it's damaged.
Huh, not my garage.
Yeah, so they put all this stuff on so they can actually add a cover, but what they're covering are these two
So we need a
tabs.
flathead.
We're going to leave those on.
Wait, what is this?
This is an access cover for the end of the crankshaft so you can turn the motor over.
So literally you put a flathead
A
in
big
there.
giant, well there's a tool for that that's actually as wide as this is so you don't strip this plastic cover. And then this is the spot where you can see your timing marks. So you can set your motor to top dead center so you can do your valve inspections and stuff like that.
To be clear, I wasn't saying right as in, oh, I understand. I knew what that was. Right. Okay, what's another 4? This guy looks like a 4. Can I take this off?
Yeah.
5 mil stat. Man, we are so good. Like, cruisers have covers like sport bikes have fairings.
Yes.
Way too much.
Yeah. It's all to beautify everything that's underneath it.
But we want an ugly bike.
We don't want it ugly, we want it stripped down.
No frills, as some have said.
You may want to take that kickstand off.
Looks like about an 8.
You may want to take that little sensor off the top first.
I was thinking the same thing. I was just gonna get all my tools together.
Didn't you guys just have a conversation about acting like you know what you're doing? And then you...
Yes.
Would you like something stronger?
No.
You sure?
No.
Did you get it?
Maybe. God, these things were welded on at the fires of Mordor.
Loctite.
Or that.
There you go, this will probably make it a little bit easier.
I'm trying to up my strength.
Your strength.
My strength attribute is not high enough.
Now, do you know why we're cutting those off?
Nope. Oh, because they're attached to the thing we're about to take off. That's the right answer. Ha! Love getting the right answer.
So proud of yourself for making that error. And it didn't go as badly as you thought it was gonna. PowerPoint. Not gonna get that thing off.
Oh, right. Power stance.
There you go. The notes are on there.
Man, my power stance was learned at the top of a mountain in Asia. I want a cool graphic that I can do every time I have to do a power stance and be like, power stance. And it's like, oh my God, I watched too much Dragon Ball Z as a kid. Power stance. With no music.
Besides the whole goofy face you're learning at least.
With no music though, it's so anticlimactic. It's like,
So now that you crack that loose, you probably usually...
dude, there's no way the little baby gun's gonna do
I
that.
think it's gonna turn it.
Want to put money on it?
I don't know how charged the battery is, so no. Yeah, did you have it in reverse or forward? Are you putting it in or taking it out? Take 2.
Good call there. All right, so let's we'll cut that and we'll just. All right, we're here doing it for the first time. Definitely didn't just tighten it. Brian, nothing's happening.
Turn it off?
No.
So you definitely didn't tighten it.
It's going in the right direction.
Are you?
Let's try the other one.
It's going.
It's slow as molasses, though.
Yeah, it is slow.
My body's like a tripod. You know, you spread the legs out and you got stability.
Don't flatter yourself like that, Chase.
What are you talking about, Brian? You know what kind of steady hands I got? I don't even need a tripod.
I'm gonna watch that whole bracket and side stand fall off of there and smash you in the toe.
That's part of my wide stance, so it keeps my toes safe. I wonder if they make steel-toed All-Stars. Should look into that. Is there green Loctite?
Is it green?
It looks green, but it could be blue.
Well, look at it better. Is it green or is it blue?
Dude, it's toast. Is green like super strong Loctite?
Is it green or is it blue?
It's
What's on the bolt?
Ain't nothing on the bolt. Hold on, I gotta clean out the holes.
There is green, but that's blue.
You know I'm young and impressionable. Why you gotta say stuff like that?
Why do I have to torture you?
Wait, remove what? Oh,
leave this whole thing open.
Is that? I mean, that can't be more dangerous than a chain, open chain.
Nope, no more dangerous.
Is it just these bad boys? Looks like 6s to me.
Kind of does look like 6, doesn't it? Except the belt will be like that. Oh, we're gonna leave those for now.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna leave those for now.
So you're telling me
it's
the one
not gonna
time...
come off until we get the pulley off.
All right. Is there anything else on this side we can take off for now? Oh, those are covers?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Anything that's chrome on this is a cover.
For real?
Yeah.
Brian got so tired of me taking so long, he is now on the other side, taking more covers off.
I'm actually putting shit back on so you can shut your face.
Son of a bitch!
Did you think you were whispering and I couldn't hear you from like 5 feet away?
Oh, no.
Nope.
Wait, what are you putting on? We're supposed to be taking things off.
Well, there's some shit over here that's dangling and I don't like it dangling, so I'm just, running the bolts back in.
Okay. Okay, washers on, bolts back in, covers off.
You want to take this little doohickey off while we're here?
No, I'm gonna cut that.
We don't have to cut it. It has 2 bolts in it.
I was thinking we were gonna...
Because that's exactly what you want to do right next to all the fuel lines. I know you like to cut stuff because it's fun, but when you can take 2 bolts out instead of covering the room in little metal shards, it's probably best just to, it's a 5. It's probably...
Bitch, what?
tightening, not loosening.
You only get 10% smarter.
You just tighten the out of that thing.
Man,
You're lucky that didn't break.
man, it was freaking flipped and shit. Like,
It's not upside down.
it kind of was.
It's not upside down.
This show was so much better when I was just filming. God.
When you were just
now
filming?
I'm here to.
Now you take some abuse and you learn some shit. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
You either have to pay for your education in money
Or you have
or
to be
humility.
embarrassed. Yeah.
You pay for it in
Alright.
money or humility. Which do you
I
choose?
took the cheap route. All right.
I could very easily stand here and not make fun of you and charge you lots of money.
That's true. Well, you know what? Since I've got student loans, so I've already tried the route of paying. I should put these back.
Put those back in and snug them down.
This little angled thing? I'm going the wrong direction again. Wow. What is wrong with me?
You're already too broke from paying student loans. Now you can't afford to pay attention. So that's why you keep turning bolts in the wrong direction.
Somebody grab a fire extinguisher because Brian's on fire? I lost it.
I'm on thunder.
On Thundercats.
Oh,
Nice job!
Thundercats was my time. I don't know what you're talking about, Thundercats.
I would watch Thundercats.
I think it looks fine without it. I mean, the gas tank is going to come down to here.
Yeah, I'm kind of down with the whole like.
And I
tubing.
really actually like it without the fake chrome covers on it.
Yeah, the mechanically look is pretty.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Other side.
All right. All right, back to the other side. Are we still on chrome removal duty? Oh God. Oh. That's what I was thinking. Dude, what is this giant thing I'm taking off right now? Oh my God. Looks like some sort of air filtration device.
Man, that air filter's disgusting.
Smell
Woo,
it. It
look
smells
at that
glorious
thing.
though.
Oh God.
Smells like that nasty gas, doesn't it?
Yeah, that smells so. Oh my Lord God. Dude, that smells like a junkyard. Like.
I can smell it from here now.
Oh God. Okay.
Somebody's already modified this air box. That's
Really?
why the filter is so dirty. There's
Oh,
supposed to be a
shit.
hole like this big in there, and they cut this whole thing out.
So what would having like that area bigger do?
You get more airflow, but if you don't tune your bike to have that much air going through the motor, it just makes less power instead of more.
So they literally could have thought they were like making their bike faster.
And they were making it slower for sure.
That's hilarious. That's some me shit.
That's a very, very common thing to happen in the motorcycle world. People throw parts at bikes not knowing what those parts are actually going to do. And then on top of that, they may know what the parts are going to do, but then they don't do the entire process. You know, when you add more air, then you need to add more fuel. And if you don't put something on your motorcycle that can add more fuel,
Yeah.
well, then now you're just running your bike very, very lean and you lose horsepower.
So is adding more fuel something like a fuel commander or a power commander?
Some sort of fuel management system. There's going to be more than just 2 bolts.
You had one sentence that went from that one.
That right there needs an air horn. And then instead of taking that nut off of the bottom, you can remove the whole bracket that's holding it on there.
How do you just like?
You got to remember, I'm not trying to be an asshole, and I'm not trying to be full of myself in any way, shape, or form, but I'm 3 or 4 steps ahead of what you're doing at all times. while you're taking this stuff apart, I'm looking on to not what your next piece of hardware is, but your next piece of equipment. There's 2 bolts holding that bracket on. Nothing on a motorcycle is held on with 1 bolt. Is that Crankcase Breather?
Yeah, it looks like definitely a crank clip.
You can't even say the word.
Jesus Christ.
So your crankcase breather is always routed to your airbox in some way, shape, or form, so it rebreathes all of that oil fume air, and it burns it off instead of getting it out into atmosphere.
There's a hole here, is that?
Is there?
Never mind. Why is this?
I couldn't even tell you.
The hell is...
Yeah, they probably could have made it hollow, but they probably needed something in here. There's a bearing in here. And there's a shaft that comes out that sits in this bearing, so they needed something to hold that bearing in place.
Dude, you could like put a hot pocket
You can put your weed in there, man.
That just shows you our priorities. Okay, the hot pocket hole is open. Case open. No other son of a... So Brian, what's the difference now that you're in like Yoda mode?
My hands are clean, and I will leave here not tired,
Interesting.
and I will leave here and my hands won't ache.
I really feel like I'm gonna learn a lot more by doing it like this.
Absolutely, there's no better way to learn than to do. You know, but this cover, you could take all these bolts out, either paint them black or accent color or something like that, and put them back in again, and they'll be like accent bolts around, and they'll probably look pretty cool.
Good idea, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we're blacking out the motor without really changing anything.
Wreck Bike Rebuild decal right there.
Sure.
Black, matte.
Well, I would say shiny on here because this is already matte.
I meant the, yeah.
Yeah, the opposite of whatever's here. I got what you're saying.
All right.
I stole your chair.
Wait, do we need to take this little flapper off?
Well, there's kind of a lot of the stuff attached to that.
Okay.
So why don't we follow where that all goes and see if there's anything else that we have to take off before we can take that off.
So we probably need to take off this little guard.
Let's take that guard off and see where we're at behind there.
So from your opinion, how's the bike looking so far?
I'm actually surprised at how little damage there was on it.
Do you think those little crash bars like saved a lot of it?
If those weren't on there, it probably would have cracked the engine cases.
No shit.
If not the engine cases, at least, at very minimum, the stator cover on the outside.
Oh yeah, because it already
Which
had
would have been very similar to the Monster damage, where it was that cover, and then it kind of nicked the engine case.
Yeah.
I would have foreseen about the same on this if those engine guards weren't there. I just really hope that whoever crashed this thing got his leg out from behind that thing before it got folded over.
Oh shit, can you imagine crashing and then you
Be trapped underneath the motorcycle, pinned to it because a steel bar, like a mouse trap, swung shut over your leg.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that would have been no fun at all.
So we're trying to find where we can unplug these, right?
Well, what are they that we're looking at?
Brake and brake? Why are there 2 lines.
Because one goes to the reservoir, and the other one goes to the caliper.
Right. Okay.
So instead of putting the reservoir up there where they normally are in a cruiser, they ran it back here and hit it.
This little piece of shit?
Yeah, that's your reservoir.
Dude, adding any brake fluid to that would be the...
You do it from the top.
Where?
There's a bolt right there.
Uh-huh.
And they make a hole so you can get to the bolt. And then that will drop and you can pull the reservoir out here so you can refill it. And then you slide it back in and put the bolt back in.
Okay, maybe
You
not.
gotta remember, this is Yamaha. They, for the most part, they think of everything ahead of time.
Should we, like, what's the best route to...
What else needs to be removed?
To get to the reservoir?
Well, once you pull the reservoir, how are you gonna get it out? Which way is it gonna go?
I mean, easiest is that way.
Well, then you're gonna get brake fluid everywhere. So if you want to take the entire brake system off in one piece, what would you have to do?
I mean...
If you didn't want to drain the brake system,
You don't want to drain
disassemble
it. I mean, I want to say, like, take that stuff off, but, like, to get the... Because, like, this is the biggest item, so you'd have to bring all these things this way.
Right.
So you'd have to take, what is this, the coolant?
That's
Is this the coolant?
The reservoir.
So yeah, you would have to take the fuel extra thingy jigger, right? Like you would have to take that out.
Can you get that master cylinder reservoir through there without taking that out?
I don't know.
So what are some quick ways to make some room without removing everything?
Unplug shit.
There you go. So that's where you start.
You think that's enough room though?
It should be. It may not. And if it's not, then we'll move some other stuff.
Brian, shit thick. Okay, so now with our little attempt at getting the entire rear brake system off, how the hell do you think we're about to get this fat boy through here without taking the coolant off?
Take the coolant off. That's not 8, that's a 10.
The 9 was put in the...
Now that all that stuff is loose, we should be able to just pull this out this way.
All of that, just, oh wait, how do we...
Take the bracket off.
That's the, should we put the coolant back in for now, or?
Nah, we don't need it in there right now.
Okay.
Now you can take off this foot peg and everything will come off with it. What else is attached to this foot peg before you continue on?
I mean, so it looks like it's the brake
Master cylinder.
master cylinder. So it's the brake master cylinder, and then this little guy, and then
What is it?
it's like a brake. Oh, this is the brake light switch.
Good job, Chase.
Look, man,
Looks just like the one on your street bike, doesn't it?
feeling a little feel about myself with that answer. Holy shit. Ready for it, Brian?
Yep. I'm ready for you to get up and get a big
Power
pull.
stance. You don't underestimate my power stance in my shorts, Brian. You see these calves?
Your power shorts, because your calves are really going to help your hands.
I told you I was a tripod.
Don't flatter yourself.
Oh, the savagery.
Did you not get it the first time you said that earlier? You missed that whole thing?
Maybe. I don't know. Probably did. Okay, what's this thing? Yeah, that fits. Sweet.
Of course it does. That's what I was putting back on earlier.
I'm giving up on the thing.
You may want an extension.
The glorious moment is here. Let us all rejoice. You took the whole front brake system off in like one fatal swoop as well, right?
Yes. So now you have your whole brake system, no brake fluid leaking anywhere.
Man, how nice is that? So no more chrome, no more brakes.
Where's the bird at?
He's dead. This made a muzzle flash and a gun sound. Nailed it. Let's go. What's next?
Handlebars. Gauge cluster,
Shit. Okay.
top triple trees, fork legs.
So we're done with this side?
What do you think? Are we done with this side?
I don't see any chrome. There's a lot of shit missing.
What am I trying to say? I think the bike looks so much better without all those little chrome bullshit bits. Like that looks so more like muscly and like this stuff going on, like, that's pretty solid, right?
So I said it looks better and better after every part we take off.
I know, it's getting closer and closer to bobber level. All right, guys, sides. I think both sides are good as far as removal. We're gonna now move on to the handlebars and the forks.
Clutch cable.
Now that I can just...
All right, so this one I'm gonna have to show you.
Okay.
So to get your clutch cable off, you want to give yourself as much slack here as you can.
Okay.
All right, so just a little barrel adjuster.
Yeah.
Ready? Here's the trick. See, there's still no free play in this thing. All right, we're gonna have to loosen the adjuster here.
Like this little adjuster you had up front was just like minute adjustments, and then this is
Right,
like...
this is your micro adjuster, and this is your main adjuster.
Okay.
Why there's still so much clutch tension on this, I have no idea.
Okay.
That's kind of scary. We may have some issues. If you have zero slack in your clutch cable,
Yeah.
it's literally constantly opening your clutch pack. So
Okay.
your clutch could be slipping the entire time you're riding, depending on how little
that
the clutch per. So you could have smoked the clutch in this thing. So it may need a new clutch. We've now put all of that slack in
So
the
now we
cable.
can get the cable off.
So we've put this much slack in it, so now you can kind of just pull the cable free.
Oh, and now is there
And now
like
it'll
that
just-
little pin thing in there?
Now it'll just slide out. And then your cable barrel, if it's not too damaged, this one's a little beat up.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is what happens to the end of the, if you can see the pin, this is the pin, and then they put a little plastic cover over the end of it
Yeah.
for exactly this reason. You see how mangled this thing is?
Jesus. So that would have happened to the metal
That would have
had
happened
the
to the-
rubber not been there.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
So now this whole side is disconnected. So if we pull the handlebars off, none of this will be in the way. So now we get to do the other side. So your throttle cables work very similarly to your clutch cable setup, but you need to open this first. Now you need to remove the cables from the throttle tube.
Okay. So now.
So we need as much slack in those as we can get.
Okay.
So if there's not enough adjustment here, which it doesn't look like there's any adjustment here, so then the only other place would be at the throttle body. And now that we have all this stuff off, we could actually get to the cables at the throttle body.
Wait, was that one of the reasons you waited? You chose for us to wait for this so we could have.
I do everything for a reason.
My man.
So you want me to show you how to do that without wrecking the cable, or do you just want to go about it and see if you wreck the cable?
You know what, Yoda? Give me a moment. Is that wrecking the cable?
What do you think?
I mean, the cable don't look wrecked. Is it because I bent it? Is that a wrecked cable?
Yeah. Well,
So
it's
how-
a good thing they won't be using those again.
True. So how could I have not wrecked the cable?
We'll put it back on and I can show you. Alright, so we have all of our slack in here now, right?
Yeah.
That was the first thing we did. Now, if you don't want to wreck the cables, the first thing you want to do is not kink them.
Okay.
So you don't want to grab them with a pair of pliers.
Yeah.
Because the first thing you do when you squeeze is you're going to bend the metal. So if you use something like a pick where it's smooth, pull all your slack out and push it sideways out. And then now this just rotates and slides out the side. And that's how you do that. It's a good way to do it without wrecking your cable. A small pick or a flathead screwdriver, but you really don't want to grab it and pinch it. So you got all that stuff off. Handlebars are free to be removed.
I think we might have to take off this little middle bracket.
How come?
You know what, Brian? I'm a liar.
Do you want to take it off or no?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out on the next episode. Just kidding. Doing it this episode. Ooh, you know what? We might, because these